was thinking multiplication, just repeated addition.
Okay, third one. Talk at your tables about a procedure that you teach. What procedure do you teach? Elementary teachers, you'll start teaching procedures the very first day of school. You'll teach a lot of them. You will be exhausted and so will you walk down the
Sandpaper, wafers, and jackhammer. Everybody uses that. Okay. Use that again. Because I had a poster on that. What's it called? EBIS. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. So I should go over that.
Okay, so are we pretty comfortable with those three? Okay, good, thank you. All right, I'm moving on, because it's almost lunchtime. All right, the most populated cells for state standards, and folks, these are Iowa Core standards as well, the way they are written, are A1, B2, and C3. Even Iowa standards, Common Core, whatever you want to call it, those are the most common. I will tell you something though, when you're going to go in and actually work with some, I hope you do a better job at understanding some of those standards than I have, because the way they are written sometimes are so complex that you read the standard and you get to the end of it and you say, what the heck does that mean? In other words, what will my kids actually be able to do when we get to the end of it? This is my theory, this is a Connieism, this is not anywhere in the content of this class. I think the people who wrote those are people who do your job every day. Because it needs to be broken down into words that you understand and you understand for what you're going to do with kids. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of that, because what you're going to do is you're going to take the standard and then you're going to break it down into what is the intent of it. I'm just giving you a forewarning that as you go through and you're looking at these, they're going to be mostly A1, B2, and C3. You're going to have a few that are over here. You are. And that's a good thing. But it's going to be up to you as the instructor to take kids over to here a little bit more. And I'm not talking about jumping from the A1 to the, D6. I'm talking about taking them from here to here to here, and then maybe in the next lesson you have them do something here. And it can be as simple, my friends, as the type of question that you ask. It does not have to be a whole new lesson plan. It doesn't have to be a whole new activity. I swear to you it doesn't. It has to be the kind of question that you ask them. And what are the steps you ask them to do to get to the answer? Or to get to some kind of conclusion. It's that simple. Okay, so here's a learning objective. You all know how to write them. We are all taught how to write these. The student will, verb, understand, and the object in this case is going to be the characteristics of a biome. Okay, that's our standard. So where would that fit on the table? First of all, we would, we would circle understand. We're going to do that because that is the what? That is the verb. That is the cognitive process we're going to ask them to do. Now, we don't know what we're going to have them do to understand. We don't know which one of those gerunds we're going to use yet. But we know at the end of it, they're going to understand the concepts of a biome, or the characteristics of a biome. All right, and what is characteristics of a biome? What kind of knowledge is that? Not characteristics. Characteristics are concepts. You've got to be careful with those because they get tricky, because you think, well, a biome is a biome. Yeah, but the characteristics of the biome are the concepts of it. So where would it fall? But where would it fall on our table then? It would be a B2. B2, conceptual knowledge. Okay, the reason I walked you through this is because this is what you're going to do with your activities, your assessments, and your learning activities and your standards that you work with kids. Don't worry, we're not going to do them all at once. All right, so now we're going to practice. Before lunch, we're going to practice what you learned. There are 4 here. Student will be able to recognize the steps of a selling process. The student will be able to execute the correct drawing procedures. The student will be able to explain the relationship of foodborne contaminants and food allergies. And the student will be able to critique the school district's proposal for year-round schools. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there are 4. What I want you to do is at your table, determine is it a B1, a C3, an A2, work together, and then I'll give you the answers on this one. I have a key on this one.